I used intermittent fasting pretty much every day when I was getting this lean, not for the reason that people usually think. It wasn't because fasting magically made me burn more fat. It wasn't because I was doing fasted cardio. And there wasn't some special metabolic benefit that I was trying to unlock. It's because my calories were fucking low and I was hungry. And that's basically it. I weren't really that hungry in the morning. So if I would have just ate my first meal too early, that would have left me in a deep, dark pit of shit. So I made sure that I pushed my first meal back until later in the day when I actually felt like I needed the food. Because from that point, that actually meant that I had a shorter window to eat the food, which meant 8 hours of eating rather than the potential for 14 hours and less separation between meal to meal. It didn't mean that I could eat more. It didn't mean that the diet worked faster or things became more efficient or I burnt more fat. It just made the same shitty amount of food that I didn't really have a lot of easier to manage. And that's how you need to look at intermittent fasting. It's a tool. That tool worked for me a majority of the time. And there was actually days where I didn't intermittent fast, where I fancied a meal earlier on in the day. But for the most part, pushing that first meal back later into the day, 11, 12, sometimes 1 p.m, benefited me because it just gave me a shorter window to eat. Now, for some people, they'll benefit from having a breakfast or having a meal earlier on, and some days I did. But most of the time, I was thankful for pushing that first meal back. The fasting isn't causing the fat loss. What's causing the fat loss is sticking to a calorie deficit and sticking to the same amount of food every single day. Being consistent. The intermittent fasting was just a tool and a way for me to be consistent. And if you want to capitalize on that tool and you think it's going to benefit you, give it a try. You don't even need to use it every single day. Use it when you feel like it's going to benefit you the most and eat a bit earlier when you fancy.